What's up, everyone? Coach Laxpo here, and I want to talk about a topic that I'm hearing more and more about in the lacrosse world: the 10-man ride. That's right, the 10-man ride seems to be the flavor of the month right now. You know, it's been growing more and more as seasons go on, but we're hearing it a lot right now, and we're seeing some spectacular goals because of it. So let's talk about basics of what is the 10-man ride. So first and foremost, if you want to understand what a 10-man ride is, you've got to understand 10 men. Why 10 men? Well, if you think about a lacrosse field and how many players there are on the field, there are 10 players allowed. So if there's 10 players on the field and it's a 10-man ride, how many do you think are riding? 10, that's right. And a ride is basically what we call a transitionary defense. So when your team's on offense and they're transitioning now to defense, they will be engaged in what's called a ride. Now, the easiest way to identify that a 10-man ride is happening is looking at the goalie. If the goalie comes out of the goal and starts playing a player or a zone, then you probably think that a 10-man ride is now happening. It's now engaged because a goalie typically plays in the goal. In basketball, they call this a full court press. So this is lacrosse's version of the full court press, essentially. Now, why would you do a 10-man ride? Well, similarly to basketball, why would you do a full court press? Maybe you need to pressure to get the ball back. It is a high risk, high reward type situation. If you can get the ball during a clear when everything's broken down, you've got an unsettled play, there's a good chance that you can score a goal. We're starting to see teams utilize the 10-man ride on almost every single ride now too. So maybe it's just part of your team. It's just your makeup. You've got people that are very good at riding, very good at trying to get the ball back. So maybe you've instilled the 10-man ride every single time. Sure, that could be a way of going about it. Maybe not recommended, maybe it is. Depends upon how good your team is and are they good at that skill. If they are, go get it. In a scenario I'd use it is a David versus Goliath match, and let's pretend that my team's the Goliath. You know, too many times when games are close towards the end, you never know what's going to happen, who's going to win. So, you know, maybe it helps if Goliath goes and with the idea of just absolutely crushing David out of the start. If you're a really good team and you know you're playing a team that's scrappy, has a chance to win games, if you 10-man ride them right away and you get extra possessions and you get a multitude of goals right away, maybe this whole idea of an upset goes out the window. So a good chance, a good reason to potentially use the 10-man ride. Another reason you may use the 10-man ride is because you see the attackmen for the other team are just lazy in general. To break a 10-man ride, you need the entire team ready to be able to support the clearing efforts. Meaning, if I'm the team trying to clear the ball, not the riding team, trying to clear the ball to my offensive half, if the attackmen are not paying attention, if the attackmen are lazy, they're picking dandelions, they're waving, whatever, this is an opportunity defensively to do a 10-man ride because it takes the entire team to help clear the ball when a 10-man ride is engaged. On the opposite side of the ball, let's talk about how do you break a 10-man ride? Well, probably one of the easiest things is just a simple one-on-one beat your man. A lot of times it's going to be man-to-man on the ball. Behind it, you'll probably see some zone, but for the most part, it's going to be man-to-man on the ball. If you're able to beat your man one-on-one and go up the field, you're probably going to get over that midfield line. And as soon as you get over the midfield line, typically that 10-man ride is off. Defense then jumps back in. Goalie's sprinting to the goal because he doesn't want to allow someone to score. So if you can beat your man one-on-one and get over that midfield line, 10-man ride's off at that point and you're ready to settle into your offense and go for an opportunity to score a goal. Of course, as a coach, you could do things to scheme it open. You could set picks, set different cuts, knowing full well that the goalie's not going to be able to do something. So maybe you can scheme it open. Maybe you do certain plays, certain arrangements of players such that you can get yourself open to get over that midfield line. Because again, as soon as you get over that midfield line, every team's going to stop doing the 10-man ride. Next, and this is something we're seeing a lot more, is teams shooting on the 10-man ride. One of the greatest rules of lacrosse is when you shoot the ball out of bounds, whoever is closest to the ball, where it goes out of bounds, when it goes out of bounds, gets the ball back. So defensively, we could just be ripping shots from 3/4 down the field looking for that opportunity to score a goal. And we've seen some absolute lasers. People have been putting darts right on that goal, actually scoring some goals lately against the 10-man ride. Will it cancel out the 10-man ride? Maybe, but it seems like teams are practicing this more and more. So if you have players that can shoot from distance, they could easily break a 10-man ride if they can hit the goal. Or if not, just make sure you guys got backup and you're out of this situation right away. Lastly, the easiest way to break a 10-man ride is just for all of your clearing players just to be heads up. Be opportunistic. Look for those opportunities. If I'm an attackman and I've got the goalie on me, maybe I should go to a spot that's further upfield because if that goalie doesn't want to follow me up there, I can catch the ball, have that quick little opening, boom, 10-man ride's broken, the whole team's breaking back into the defensive end. And now's our opportunity to go score. Being heads up and opportunistic is an easy way to break a 10-man ride. I'm not saying it's easy to break a 10-man ride, I'm saying that's an easy way to do it if you're opportunistic and you can get open. If you want to learn how to implement a 10-man ride, I'll put a link down to a video below. Lax has done a great job really detailing out a 10-man ride. This was just an introductory video to let you know what a 10-man ride is. So when you hear it on TV, you know what the transition defense is doing, you know what the transition offense is doing, and you know exactly why a guy is ripping a shot from 70 yards down the field. The deep hole's trying to make a shot or the goalie's trying to shoot a shot all the way down the field because they're trying to either make it in the goal or get that backup off the end line so that they can get right into their offense. Thanks for joining me this week. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, come back for more as we continue to talk about this beautiful game, this wonderful game of lacrosse. And as we say around here, don't forget the little things.